Hello. Can you hear me? This is very strange. I'm just talking to myself. If you can hear me, tell me that you can. Send me a message, and I think hopefully I can see it in the live chat. I am a bit early, I think, as well. Can you hear me? Oh, hiya. Hi, Nadia. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Laura. Hi, Team Thompson. Okay, well, I'm a bit early. It's not 7 yet, is it? But yeah. I'm just opening this screen up so I can see myself. It's very odd. You'd think you'd be used to this with all the Zoom calls we've been doing, but it's very strange just looking at yourself and talking to yourself. Super punctual, yes. It was a bit of a last minute scramble. I realised it was really dark in this room. So I had to find some lamps to put on. Oh, I did see the questions from the event page, Laura, yes. I've got them, I wrote them down. Yeah, I liked Abby's questions, they were good. I think, are there 7 people here? I'm not sure. I think that's what that means in my top left-hand corner. But I have been told to ask you all to subscribe to Adventure Queen's YouTube page. So I think it's fairly obvious how to do that. I had never subscribed to anything before, but I did do it the other day and it seemed fairly obvious. And now I have no idea where you do it. There's probably a button at the bottom of your screen. And if you do that, that would be really great for the lovely Adventure Queens team, who can then do lots more things. And I think they've got a challenge to get. Oh yes, Nadia says there's a little red image on the bottom left of my video. Yeah, they've got a challenge to get up to 1,000 subscribers, I think, which then means I don't actually know what that means. What does that mean, Nadia? You're able to do more stuff. Oh, sorry, Nadia says on the bottom right. Shall I give it a couple more moments, do you think? So Nadia says it means they can do more stuff and they get a revenue stream. Okay, I'm going to get started. So for anyone who didn't watch the video, I won't sort of say too much about it, except that I am here to just chat about why I really like swimming outdoors. And in the video, I just chatted about how I got started, which basically was because a friend of mine asked me to do a swim with her a few years ago, and it was a swim organised by the Outdoor Swimming Society, and it's a swim that most people do in a sort of competitive spirit. And having done that, I realised that I'd missed out on seeing lots of lovely scenery and wildlife and things down in Devon where I did it. And so I sort of had a change of attitude, I suppose, and realised that actually I wanted to do more of it, but I wanted to do it outside and do it very slowly and just really take in all of the nature and the loveliness around. So Abby's question, well, Abby had 4 questions. I think she said she couldn't be on the live chat, but she asked me whether this is a good time or a bad time to start swimming outdoors. And she asked what the water temperature was like. Is it still kind of warm? So water temperature is definitely starting to cool down now. I'd say it's warmest sort of in August and early September, but it's still nice. It's fresh, I would say, and I think this is a really nice. Well, I think any time of year is a good time to start. To be honest, I don't think it really matters, but I think now is a good time, and that's when I started. So I had joined a group online, having tried to persuade friends to do outdoor swimming, and all of them declined. I then found this group who they're called swim walks, so they do swims and walks, and I joined them in the summer, and then I couldn't get along to any swims. And so in the end, I went in October, and I remember thinking, oh, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be swimming, but I will enjoy the walk. And then there's something about being with a group, isn't there, where it's, I don't know, everyone's enthusiasm is infectious. And yeah, I thought, oh, yeah, obviously I'm going to go in. So I did, and I had a couple of swims that day. This particular group tend to do a bit of a walk, then a swim, then a walk and a swim. So I started in late October, and so it's lovely, and now is a great time. It's all lovely autumnal, scenes. So yeah, start and do it. And there's no rules, I don't think. Just go and take it easy, and yeah, give it a go. And Laura says, was it colder than you expected? No, I think I expected it to be cold, which was why I was a bit hesitant in the first place and thought I probably wouldn't go in. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just that group mentality, isn't it? And everyone sort of encourages you, and before you know it, you're in, and it's fine. I think when you're swimming outdoors, there's always that initial cold water shock, and then 30 seconds in, it's like, oh, it's fine, I'm used to it. So yeah. Oh yeah, good question, Claire. Were you concerned with what lurked beneath your feet? I think I'm a bit odd as an outdoor swimmer, because I think I'm pretty much the only person who quite likes, well, I do like the feeling of weeds and sort of things around my feet. And I've never met anyone else in outdoor swimming circles who like that at all. Nobody else likes it. They think it's very odd. So I wasn't concerned with that. I guess, I do wear, in rivers that I don't know, I do wear sort of socks or swim shoes, just in case there's any sort of sharp bits of stone or anything. So I'm fairly up for weeds, mud, general, disgustingness at the bottom of a river. I quite like it. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I think I am a bit weird though. I don't think most people feel like that. So the other question Abby had was about swans, which was a good question. What was it? She said, oh, what happens if you come across swans when you're in the water? Is it an issue or are they not bothered? So I was thinking about this, and I think that swans do have a bit of a reputation for being a bit aggressive. I don't know why that is. I suppose that they are quite big when you're in the water and you're just a head. They are, you know, they're quite big, and they've got big old wings, and then you hear sort of horror stories, don't you, about people having their arms broken, or I don't know. But I don't think that they are. I think if you, you know, if you're respectful of their space, then they're absolutely fine. I think the thing to think about is if they've got cygnets with them, or, you know, they're nesting, then they're going to feel a bit vulnerable. But even then, I've never, oh, actually, I have had one swan incident, which I'll say in a minute, but I've never encountered them particularly being aggressive other than that. And yeah, I think if you just swim around and give them a wide berth, they're not interested in you. But yeah, I did have this one incident with a swan where I was swimming again with the group that I met, and it was evening, and it was we'd got to a spot and it was a really beautiful sunset, and one of my friends, who's a photographer, wanted me to take a picture of her on her phone camera, you know, walking into the sunset. But she decided, and there was a group of swans, and she decided for some reason that the best place to take this photo from was pretty much where those swans were. And so she sort of directed me to go and stand there, which I did. So I was, you know, wanted to get the photo right because she's like a professional and etc. And yeah, and I stood there waiting for her to go in and get the right shot. And then one of these swans came up and bit me on the ankle. So yeah, that taught me a lesson. Just keep your distance, and I think they're fine. What other questions are there on here? Or maybe I'll go through Abby's first. So yeah, I don't think swans are a problem as long as you don't get too close and you don't put, you know, someone's photograph over their comfort. So Abby also said, what are your tips for planning a linear river swim, and what should you look for on a map, and what maps are best for planning a route? So I've done a few linear swims, but I've always done them with a group where someone else has done the planning, except for last month when I did one that I planned myself in the Thames. And I actually used, I would not recommend this particularly. I used something called, I think it was called On the Go Map, which I think is actually for runners or walkers to plan routes. But it kind of did the job just about. I sort of made sure it went along the river, so I could, you know, that the route went along the river, so I could see roughly how far I was swimming. But someone then did recommend afterwards something called Outdoors GPS, which probably some of you know about. I'm sure that you do. Which I've now downloaded. So I think that is an app where you can actually properly plan your swim. You can do it, you know, through the water. So in future, that's what I'll try. What else did I think about? My exit and entry points. So I knew where I was going to get in, and I'd swum there before. And my exit point was at a lock. So locks always have ladders, and so that was easy to get out. And I also, I used a swimming forum to just ask people in that area for I asked them questions about, you know, whether they'd done that route, whether they could think of anything that I might, you know, need. But that was all I did, really. I mean, I'd say just be confident that you can do the distance that you've planned, and make sure you're visible. So I had a tow float. I think some people I know do sort of front crawl in rivers, and so they would wear a bright cap, but I don't do that because I just do heads up breaststroke, so I can, you know, see if boats are coming. But they get quite busy, rivers, sometimes, with, well, not just boats, you know, people paddle boarding and rowing and stuff. So yeah, just make sure you're visible. There probably are other things, but that was literally all I did. I just worked out my exit point, I got in, swam with my tow float, and yeah, that was me. Nadia says swans are pretty scary. Yeah, they can be, can't they? They've definitely got a reputation. They look like they could have you if they wanted to. Oh, and then Abby's last question was, what is your advice for someone who can swim but is a bit nervous of deep water or moving water? So I think that's really common, and you know, it's not a bad thing to feel a bit anxious of open water. I would say that it's worth going to a spot that you know well, and where it's a sort of gentle incline. You can where you can get in the water easily, and exit the water easily. Go in a group, I'd say, or go with someone who is a confident swimmer and just, you know, knows what to look out for and can keep an eye on you. Get in slowly so that you're nicely acclimatized. And yeah, just enjoy, I don't know, enjoy it. Enjoy the sensation of the water around you. Maybe be ready with a few techniques to keep you calm. Just, I don't know, nice, yeah, steady breathing, and just thinking about how lovely the scenery is. And yeah, and I don't really know what to say. I asked my brother, actually, who's like a really confident swimmer, about swimming in deep water, because again, I have never really had a fear of it. Oh yeah, Nadia says, and cake at the end to look forward to. Yeah, good plan. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really felt that fear of deep water, but my brother's a very good swimmer, and he says he doesn't even like it if the water's clear and he can see to the bottom. He's just not keen. So yeah, he just said the more often you do it, the easier it gets. He tends to do lots of, I don't know, big long triathlon-y type swims. So he said the adrenaline kind of means that he's not worried. But yeah, I'd say just do it more often. And there's nothing down there. There's only nice things, nice fish and a few weeds, and it's all lovely. I'm going to go to some of these questions. What is, oh, so Team Thompson is my family, and and my niece has asked, what is the coolest thing you have seen? Good question, Polly. I think the coolest thing I saw was in the Lake District when I swam along the length of Coniston. It was Coniston. Yeah, it was Coniston. I swam the length of Coniston Water, and I did it as part of an organised event, but I did it nice and slowly. And having learned after that dark 10K swim, I thought I was going to take everything in. And there was a point in the river where I think it was quite shallow maybe, and there were loads and loads of fish all of a sudden, and these weeds sort of, oh, they we I don't know, growing up from the bottom of the floor, the lake floor, and it looked like some kind of forest. It was really lovely. Yeah, yeah, that was really fun. I really liked that. But I've never actually swum anywhere sort of, I've never done sort of scuba diving or anything like that. So it's quite tame what I've seen, I suppose. It's, little fish and birds and, yeah, nice underground forests. But yeah, that's enough for me. Hopefully one day I can go diving, and that would be really nice. David Thompson, I have a question. Why is it called wild swimming? My mate from Scotland says they just call it swimming. Yeah, it's a funny term, I think, wild swimming. I think it's quite a recent term, isn't it? I think it is it's outdoor swimming, isn't it? And wild swimming, if you want to sound fancy or adventurous, I don't know. Call it whatever you like. Maybe in Scotland they're a bit more hardcore. Yeah, it was lovely, Laura. Even if a bit tame, yeah. Yeah, there's just lots to see. That's what's so amazing. Even in like our UK, rivers, I couldn't believe there were so many fish and, bird life, and it's all there, and it's all in this country. It's lovely. Not to say that there's not super duper amazing fish and exotic things, elsewhere, but there's lots of lovely stuff here. Oh, Nadia says, do swim socks protect your feet from sharp stuff too? I always imagine they just kept you warm. Yeah, actually, you're right. I would say, yeah, they're not great actually. And yeah, the other week I did a swim, and then I came out and had to walk up a fairly, smooth path, and I had the swim socks on, and I was really struggling. So yeah, I think you're right. They wouldn't actually protect you very well from anything sharp in the water. They're for keeping you warm, and then you can buy sort of, well, I'm sure loads of you have them, sort of shoes with proper soles on, or more proper soles that would actually stop you from cutting your feet or anything in a river. This might be another Polly one. Is this you, Polly? Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish? I have been stung by a jellyfish, and it was not very nice at all. I don't know how old I was. I feel like I must have been maybe 10 or so. Oh, it really sticks in my head though. I think we were in France, and I can't quite remember how I'd got too close to this jellyfish, but anyway, the next thing I knew, it stung me, and it is painful. My God. I don't know if anyone's been stung by a jellyfish, or at least it felt really painful at that age. It felt really horrible. And apparently weeing on a sting does not help at all, which is probably good to know. No one needs to be weed on, do they, really? Do you worry about pollution? Yeah, I think I might do if I started reading too much about what goes into rivers, and I mean, you know, I've been swimming with the particular group that I swim with for about 4 years, and I've never known anyone to get ill or anything. So I think UK rivers at the moment are probably the cleanest they've ever been, which is great. Hopefully they stay that way. Who knows? Well, let's not go there, but you know, in a few months, who knows? But yeah, at the moment I think they're clean enough. I think probably you can tell if a river isn't clean. You can see, you know, it looks dirty and it looks sludgy. And I did once swim in a river that's quite a well-known spot that definitely had a bit of a whiff of manure-y kind of smell coming off it. I think because I do heads up breaststroke, I tend to think I'll probably be all right, and you know, I'm not drinking it, so go for it. It's quite weird because I think in general I am a bit risk averse in life, but something seems to happen when I see a body of water and I sort of don't care and I just get in it. So yeah. Laura says, oh, how does the, oh no, sorry, Abby says, does the toe float also act as a float you can hold on to if you want to rest? Yes, it does, Abby. There's sort of different sizes that you can buy. So some of them would be probably much too small to do that. But mine is, I think, 30 litres. Would that be right? I think that's right. So yeah, you can definitely use it as a float in that way. Definitely. And I think you can buy ones that are just that, actually, that don't sort of fit clothes or anything inside. They're just there to make you visible and as a sort of, yeah, as a float if you want to use it. And then Laura says, I can't get my head around the cold. How long did it take you to get used to the shock? Yeah. So it took me, I'd say it took me a couple of years before I swam through the winter, maybe 2 or 3 years actually. And I am still I'm the wimpiest person in our group, definitely. So other people are just like, yeah, straight in. I think everyone's got different ways of dealing with it. So some people are like, in I go, that's it, get it over with. I am definitely a ditherer. So I stand there like up to my thighs. I like splash myself with water, make a lot of, you know, noises about how cold it is, make a bit of a song and dance about it all, and then eventually get in. And then within like, you know, 30 seconds or less, you're like, oh yeah, no, it's completely fine. I've got a friend who counts to 20. So I think she partly does it to sort of make her breathing sort of nice and relaxed. But she counts to 20 knowing that after 20 seconds is up, she'll be fine. So I think she quite likes that, having that aim. But yeah, I'm a big ditherer. But I mean, it's lovely though. Give it a try. Go in a group, and then, you know, you'll just feel like, you know, you can't let the side down and you've got to get in. And then you'll think, oh yeah, it's great. It's when you come out afterwards, and yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice. Nadia says, what do you look out for when searching for good river entry points? I had to do a bum slide in recently and found myself standing on some spiky submerged branches. Ouch. So looking for tips. Yeah, I mean, that's quite easily done, isn't it? I think if I was swimming by myself, I would be looking for quite a gentle sort of entry. Yeah, I don't know, actually. This is where I'm not, I'm not at all an expert. Who knows? I just get in. If I'm in a group and someone says, that they're getting in, I'll just get in as well and follow them, and I won't sort of think about it. So that's probably not very good advice, is it? So I would have followed you in on a bum slide. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose if I'm by myself, I mean, you can tentative. I'd be tentative, I suppose, and just. I mean, could you see that? No, you couldn't see them because they were submerged. I don't know. Maybe you have to just go through a few scrapes like that to get in sometimes. I mean, some rivers have really clear water as well, don't they? So sometimes it's really easy to see, which I always find it crazy how, like, some bits of the Thames are really clear, and I think, God, this is mad. You can see all the way to the bottom. But there's a river in Essex called the Chelmer, which is absolutely lovely, but is like definitely a very sort of orangey, browny colour. It's beautiful, but you can't see there. So, I mean, I don't know what you do. You just, have to find some way where you can get in very slowly, I suppose. Brands of tow floats that you'd recommend? Yeah, there are a few. I have a Swim Secure one, which is I really like. It's really nice. You inflate it, and it feels really secure. Although the first time I used it, I got out of the water and it was so heavy. I thought, God, it's filled with water. It's leaked. Oh my God! And then I just realised that I think my arms were tired after swimming. And it was heavy with like all the stuff I'd put in it. I was like, oh yeah, I made it heavy. I really thought it was full of water. It felt so heavy. But yeah, that's never leaked. But I think there's also a brand called Puffin. I think that's right. And they are, I think they use recycled like materials. So it might be worth checking them out. I think I would now if I wanted to buy another one. I don't know. We're hopefully getting a bit more sort of eco-conscious, aren't we? And I've heard good things about them. I've got a friend who's got a Puffin, a small Puffin one for her phone and stuff. I'm glad you got out, Nadia. I was assuming you had. The Chelmer runs past my back garden. No way, Laura. Oh, you're so lucky. That is definitely one of my favourite rivers. Oh, it's so nice. Have you ever swum in it? I think you should. It's really lovely. There's a really nice church, which I'm sure you know, called Alting. Is that how you pronounce it? Alting Church. And it's lovely because you can stop there. There's a tree branch that's been there for years, and so you can swim from sort of further up the river, and then you can swim all the way down to that church. It's not a very long swim. It takes maybe about 20 minutes, and then that tree branch is perfect for getting out at that church, and then you can sit and have your lunch and then swim back again. It's lovely, Chelmer. I'm very envious of you. What is your favourite rare wildlife that you've encountered on a wild swim, says Nicola. Hello, Nicola. I'm not entirely sure I've seen anything rare. I don't know if you heard me before, but I've really only swum in this country, really. So I don't think I've seen anything very rare. However, I did a swim in Oxfordshire. I think it was somewhere around Oxfordshire. I can't remember the name of the place. And I saw there for only the second time in my life a kingfisher, and I saw it twice, and that was amazing because it flew right across the river where we were swimming. And I think that's the lovely thing about being underwater, is that wildlife just I don't know, I guess they just ignore you and maybe yeah, are a bit less afraid of coming out. So it swam across once, and then it swam it did not swim, it flew right across me as I was swimming, and then it flew back in the other direction. So that was very lovely. Oh yeah, I've never paddleboarded, Laura. So do you do that? I'm assuming you do that on the river, on the Chelmer. Altingchurch is really pretty. It is. Only ever super. I should go and swim there. Only ever supped. I'm gonna think that's what that says. Yeah, go and swim there. It's really lovely. I did, yeah, actually ages ago with the Adventure Queens, when I just joined this group. I was like, oh, there'll be some women here who want to come swimming with me. So I set up an event. I think that was one of the first ones that I did. I think, did you come on that, Nadia? I think you might have done. And I think that was in October. So that was chilly. But yeah, I should set up another event again when we're all allowed to, meet up. And then you can come along, Laura. I'll force you in. If you hurt yourself and you're on your own, what could you do? Do you take plasters? No, I don't take plasters. Yeah. Good question. Well, I mean, I've always told people where I am. So when I did the long swim down the Thames on my own, I told several people what I was doing. I can't imagine sort of hurting myself in the river just because it's all so gentle and yeah, I don't know what I'd do. My phone will be in my tow float, so I can call using that, I suppose. I will take some plasters next time, on my next swim, just in case. Oh my God, Laura! I can get on the water in 2 minutes from my front door. Honestly, I'm so envious. So envious. I wish I could I lived so close to a river. And when lockdown happened, it was really weird because I'd swum. So I'd swum up to March, and then I did a swim on like the 6th or 7th of March, and then lockdown happened, and then I didn't swim until I think I went in end of July, August, I think, for the first time. Oh, and it was awful. And I follow quite a few sort of, I don't know, swimming kind of hashtags and Facebook groups of swimmers. And it was awful. I was so jealous of everyone who lived near to a river and was still swimming. I had to silence quite a few groups because I got all grumpy about it. But one day I'm going to move and have the river, just in case lockdown happens again. Nadia, yes, I'm definitely going to do another event. That would be so nice. With or without goggles? I always swim without goggles when unless I'm doing a sort of sort of a speedier swim, I suppose, which I don't really. I swim normally in my glasses, and that's it. In the summer, a friend of mine one year laughed because we were again doing this long swim down a river, and it was a really hot day, and I'm always worried about getting sunburnt. So I had my glasses on, I had like a cap, someone's cap that they'd lent me, and I had a t-shirt, like a sort of a swimming kind of t-shirt, but nevertheless a t-shirt. And my friend was laughing at me. She said, "Oh my God, it looks like you've actually someone's just thrown you in from the bank because you've got more clothes on than like people walking around on land. So yeah, no goggles, but glasses. Do you do any sea swimming? Says Nadia. I love the sea, but it definitely scares me a bit. I'd like to know how to spot danger signs so I can get in and do a proper swim rather than just bobbing about. So rivers are definitely what I love the most. I mean, I do sea swimming, but I haven't ever done any long swims, and I do know what you mean. The sea does seem slightly scarier. I think one of the things you're supposed to do, isn't it, in the sea is not, I don't do this, but I think like I do the wrong thing. I think you're not supposed to swim out in a straight line sort of towards the horizon. You're supposed to swim across, aren't you? I don't know why that is. Is that to do? That might be to do with riptides or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just that you shouldn't go too deep into the sea. I'm not sure. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of sea swimming. There's a company called Strel Swimming and another one called, I can't remember what the other one's called. I'm sure lots of people have heard of it. What's it called? Anyway, a swimming, holiday company, and they do lots of swims in the sea. And I've thought about doing those, and I went to Slovenia with Strel swimming, which was amazing. And that was swimming in lakes and rivers. And someone I met there on that swim group said she had been on one of the sea kind of swimming trips, and she really put me off a bit doing one of them, because she said when you're doing a long swim in the sea, she said she got really nauseous with all the salt and like the rocking around. She actually got seasick. She said, I didn't realize you could get seasick while you were swimming, but she said she had got really sick in the sea. And yeah, I was like, I don't know. I don't know that I fancy that. Maybe I'll stick to lakes. So I can't offer that much advice. But I mean, it's lovely getting in the sea and just splashing about and stuff. But yeah, I've never done a properly long swim. I don't think I have. No. Oh no! Ambitious failure. I've still not had a chance to swim properly since March. Oh, honestly, I feel your pain. Oh, is that because you haven't been? Because I just started getting on public transport in July, I think it was. But I've only been a few times because I just felt a bit like, I don't know, a bit nervous about being on public transport. But is that the same for you? But your last swim was in Finland. That's nice. That's lovely. That's got to be something to keep you going for a while you can't swim. I do. I feel for you though. It's horrible when you really want to go. It's quite hard. It felt like such a sort of first world problem. I mean, it is, isn't it? I was like, I really want to go swimming, but I did. I started getting quite sort of angsty with it. Swim trick. That's the one, Nadia. I knew someone would know. Ambitious failure. I live about an hour's drive from the Dales. Nice. But not felt right going there while the pandemic was going on. Yeah, I get that. Also, 6 miles walk to the closest bus stop. Blimey. I do get that. I grew up in Yorkshire, between Keighley and Skipton, gateway to the Dales. So yeah, I get that. Team Thompson, who were posting, they still live in the Dales. They definitely said, my mum said at points that like it was really busy. That's annoying though, isn't it, when it's your local area and you feel like you can't go out. Gosh, 6 miles to the closest bus stop is great. That's a long way away. Team Thompson, if there are rip tides, they're advised not to swim. Okay. Not to swim against it. Swim across until the tide is not as strong. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't think I quite understand that. I think I have to experience it, which I don't want to do, but how would you know what across was? Maybe that would make sense if that happened to you. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe other people know this. Are there any other countries where you would love to wild swim, says Mark? Yeah. I was going to go this year. Well, last month I was going to go to Norway. So I was really looking forward to having a swim there. And I cancelled it because I felt like I shouldn't be flying or travelling, and particularly not from this country to Norway. I think I felt like they didn't have very many cases of COVID, whereas we had quite a lot. So I thought I better not take it over there. But I was really looking forward to swimming there, and I was doing a sort of camping and wild camping holiday in the fjords and kayaking. So I was really excited about that. So anyway, I've postponed it to next year. Let's see what happens with the dreaded sea, and maybe I'll be able to do that next year. Yeah, very considerate of you. Yeah. Oh, it was a shame. Yeah. Well, it's fine because yes, I'm going to go next year, hopefully. Yeah. So I've got that to look forward to. But yeah. I was quite disappointed, but that's all right. If I'd done it, I would have, if I'd actually gone, it would have been done by now. Whereas now I've got it to look forward to. So yeah. I'd really like to. I've been to Slovenia swimming, but I'd really like to go back there as well. I did it on this Strel swimming trip, but I think I'd quite like to go on my own, or not as part of an organised group, and then just take my time a bit. That was, again, that trip was, there were about 10 of us, I think, and everyone was into heads down front crawl across a lake, where I wanted to go slow and look around me. So I'd really like to go back there. There's a river there called River Bohin. I don't know how it's Bohinj, I think. Oh, it's the most amazing river. The colour of it is incredible. It's like this turquoisey green colour. So I'd really like to go back there. And I need to think about where I want to swim. I think I need to be more adventurous. I'm not much of an adventure queen, I don't think. I need to, if anyone's got any good ideas of where to go swimming, tell me. Oh, Nadia says there are lots of famous long distance walking routes in the UK. Are there also popular long distance swim routes that people do? That's such a good question. There should be, shouldn't there? There should be. I mean, maybe there are, but the long distance walking routes are really well sort of publicised, and there's a website for them, isn't there? It's really easy to look them up and easy to work out, stages and where to stay and stuff. There should be something similar. That's such a good idea. I wonder, not that I know of. I mean, lots of people swim the source of the Thames, don't they, to Hammersmith, I suppose it would be. So they swim, down the river. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting question, Nadia. If there's not one, I think someone should set one up. There's some ambitious failure. There's some nice swimming in Estonia. Okay, I will make a note of Estonia. And Laura says, would you ever attempt something massive like Sean Conway's UK swim? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, that was impressive, wasn't it? But yikes. Yeah, no, I don't think that's for me. I think I like lazy, go as slow as you can, breaststroke, not any amazing swim attempts like Sean's. Fun to watch other people though. Maybe we should create a book. We should. I think we should look into this, Nadia. I think you've hit on something here. I think that'd be fantastic. We could have, it could have different stages, where entry points, exit points on different swims. There's so many rivers, aren't there, in the UK? One of the exit points could be at Laura's house. She could make tea for people when they're swimming the Chelmer. I don't know how many rivers you can swim all the way down. I think there's quite a long swim that takes place in Manningtree. There's an organisation called Slow Swimming. I can't remember. In fact, Nadia, I think did you do that swim, Nadia, one year? The slow swimming down, what's the river there? Manningtree, the River Stour? I think it might be the River Stour. And I don't know where you start, but you end up at the lovely National Trust. Yes, this sounds exciting. Yeah, you end up at is it John? Yeah, Constable's National Trust spot. I think it must be. I think it's the River Stour. Oh yeah, River Stour. Yeah, Nodi's reminded me. Yeah, this sad tale. Your car broke down on the way, and I think I was ill. I think 3 of us were going to do it, and then we left Hester to do it on her own. We should just do it another time. Just I think the River Stour is pretty shallowish. You can swim in it, but I think there's lots of shallow spots, so it's quite a good river to try and swim like the length of. Yes, let's definitely create a book and crowdsource from the AQ group. Yes, 2021 will be our year. Yes. Yes, that sounds fabulous. I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to 2021. Get this year out of the way. It's been a bit of a crazy one. I am glad that I've finally got some swims in though, just in time for it to get cold. So hopefully we don't get locked down again and I can carry on swimming. But yeah, we will see. I noticed that I think some people who were like really into swimming got just a bit, what's the word? Oh, during lockdown, they got a bit desperate, and someone I noticed had where did I read about it? I can't remember. Someone had basically, her husband had dug her a pond in the garden to swim in. I don't know if maybe that was made up, but I definitely read something like that. Oh, so Nadia says the only thing with the Stour route is that you need permission. Oh, so you have to go through people's gardens, do you? Oh. The slow swim organisers have to get that for the event once a year. So what, the river actually goes through people's gardens, or you have to get out and walk through people's gardens? I don't understand. Okay, interesting. I say we do it anyway. just go through people's garden. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Wheelie bins. Wheelie. Oh, are you thinking of the people? Yes, people got desperate enough so that they filled their wheelie bins with water. Is that what you're saying? I think that might be what you're. Yeah, I saw people. Yeah, filling wheelie bins with freezing cold water to get during lockdown to get that cold water hit. And people were having cold showers and things. You did it too with ice. Oh my God, crazy. See, I'm not a lover of cold water to the extent that I would do that. I don't think. I like it, but only when I'm in a river and I think, this is very beautiful. I'm not sure, because people often talk about acclimatizing yourself, don't they, with like doing things like cold showers, and I just think, oh, that sounds like hideous. Why? But I think, some people get a real buzz from it. Okay, yes, look into it, Nadia. Try and find out the deal with people's gardens. Mark says, have you ever used the Wim Hof method? I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is for getting used to cold water, or know anyone who has. No, I've definitely heard of that. I've seen that written somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Please tell me or remind me what it is. Ambitious failure is an ultra runner. Okay, that makes sense. It's good for recovery. I usually run routes with rivers at the end. Okay, that makes sense. Yes. But do you enjoy it as well? Or is it simply a means to an end? It just makes, just helps your recovery, or do you actually get something good from it? Because quite a lot of people say they get this cold water buzz. And I have to say, I've never had that. I do like the cold water. I definitely like it. Once I'm in, it's nice. And I like the feeling afterwards. But I haven't ever got this kind of buzz that some people say they get from it. So this Wim Hof method, it's a Dutch guy who cold swims and says it's the best thing ever. But what does the method involve? I'm curious. I'm going to look it up. Ambitious failure. You enjoy it. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could just sit in a wheelie bin of ice. I don't know. Maybe I should try it. Maybe I would enjoy it. Maybe I need to open my mind and I might discover this amazing thing. I'm not sure though. There's a documentary called The Iceman, something like that, that explains it. Interesting. I saw a few people doing the exercises he recommends before swimming. There's an app. I keep meaning to start it, but never get around to it. Also a bit scared of cold water. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, right. Well, I'm going to have a look at that then. That sounds interesting. Because as I've said, I am a little bit wimpy getting into cold water, even though I know I'm going to enjoy it. I try and tell my brain that, or my brain tries to tell my body that. I don't know. I still think, oh, this is really cold and this isn't normal. Abby Lloyd says, I think he does some kind of meditation before getting into cold water. Okay. Yeah, I've heard someone else on a swimming forum, maybe this is where I've heard about him. Someone else on a forum said that they did meditation before getting into cold water. What did they just to try and slow their breathing down. But maybe that's where they got that from. I'll have a look. Yeah, because I basically am the opposite of slow and calm, and I'm all like, splashing myself with water and screeching a bit. So perhaps I need to look into that and be, yeah, less dramatic about it. Have I answered all these questions? I think I maybe have. And it's 2 minutes to 7. Has anyone got any more questions that I can't answer? Oh, you did, Laura. You asked about my favourite swimming spot. Something accessible from London by train. Well, I think the Thames is always gonna be a place where I'd recommend. It's just there's so many lovely bits of the Thames, and actually the other week I swam from Eel Pie Island, is it? Yeah, Eel Pie Island to Richmond, which is, relatively central, really. I've never swum that stretch before, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It just was so nice. You did not feel like you were in, the centre of London, or, centre-ish of London. So the Thames definitely is, but that's not really a favourite spot, is it? That's a favourite river. A favourite spot. Maybe that Manningtree. The Manningtree swim walk is a really lovely one. That's really easy to get to. It's Manningtree is just, I think you just get there from Liverpool Street. I think it only takes, I don't know, I'm about to make it up, but it definitely doesn't take longer than an hour, I don't think. And actually that book that I recommended on the earlier video, all of those places are accessible by train from London. I think it's called Wild Swimming Walks, and there's a book that is 28 days out by train from London, and then there's another one actually that's based in Devon. So there's these two books, but yeah, they're really easy to get to, and there's a good selection of kind of river, sea, lake, pond. Oh yeah, there's Hampstead. I mean, there are places, outdoor places in London as well, aren't there? It depends kind of what you're looking for, maybe, but there's lovely Hampstead ponds. The women's pond is really nice because it's off from the path and secluded, and yeah, really nice. A really nice bank for sunbathing on. But yeah, that book is a good one, definitely. Do people say anything when they see you? I can imagine it's not very common to see swimmers in the Thames. Yeah, I think apart from the occasional, I have to say, it has always been older men who've gone, oh, you shouldn't be swimming in there. It's dirty. You'll get Weil's disease, etc. And I've gone, yes, thank you, goodbye. Apart from a couple of older men who've said that, everyone's always quite, cheery and friendly, and it's quite nice. So this swim I did on my own recently. I I failed to mention that I swam from this place, Medmenham, to Hurley Lock, and I got out at Hurley Lock. What I didn't do, Hurley Lock, I don't know if anyone's been there, but it's ever so pretty. And so instead of getting out at the first load of steps, I actually swam right into the lock and got out the second set of steps. At which point the lock keeper, who was stood there, told me that I shouldn't be swimming in a lock and that he could issue a fine. He was quite jolly about it, and I sort of said, oh, I didn't realise. Shall I swim back? And he said, no, don't swim back. Just come out now. And I wasn't too bothered by him, but I was a bit embarrassed because there were quite a lot of people. It was quite a sunny day, and there were quite a lot of people sat on the bank, like having picnics and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. So I like lugged myself out of the water in my big tow float and had to walk past them. And actually, a couple of people stopped me and said, they were like really lovely, and said, oh, that looks ever so nice. Where have you swum from? And blah, blah, blah. And they were really chatty. And one woman said, oh, honestly, I would have thought they'd got rid of that rule by now, that you're not allowed to swim in locks. And they were all really nice. So, yeah. People are generally just nice about it, I think. And, yeah. Your boyfriend got Weil's disease last year. No, he ended up in hospital for 5 days. Okay, that sounds pretty bad. Where had he been swimming then? Or does he know sort of how? Because it sounds horrible, but I tend to think it's quite rare. But anyway, that's a bit grim, isn't it? 5 days is a long time to be in hospital. So does everyone know what Weil's disease is, or how you get it? In the Dales near Malham. Oh, that's interesting. You've been in as well, and you were okay. God, you'd think something like Weil's disease was much more common in, more city-ish rivers, wouldn't you? I don't know why, or maybe that's just me. I feel like I don't want to say what Weil's disease is in case I put people off. If you don't know what it is, you can, or how you get it, you can write in the chat and I'll tell you. I suppose, one of the times I maybe wouldn't swim, I suppose, is if there's been a load of rain, and then, you'd have to, you're going to have much more pollution or things sort of sliding in from the bank, and I wouldn't necessarily swim then, or certainly not, I wouldn't want to put my face in the water, I suppose. But generally I'd say it's probably not that common, is it, Weil's disease? Gosh, is he okay now, your boyfriend? Does he, do you recover and then that's it, you're fine? Doesn't have any sort of long lasting? Maybe I don't want to know either. Or had he been swimming? Took 3 doctors to get a diagnosis, so it can't be that common. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad he's okay now. That's good. Phew. Yeah, I've only ever heard of it from swimming as well. Mark says, the licenses that you need for kayaking, you don't need those for swimming. No, I don't think so. I think it's, I don't actually know. So in in Scotland, I know it's, you know, just like you can camp anywhere, you can swim anywhere, and they've got, you know, right to roam, haven't they? And it's, everything's accessible there, and it's all very lovely. I don't know about, I guess the only problem I think with rivers, I think landowners can, I think possibly the land either side of rivers is obviously owned by someone, but the water itself isn't. So I guess you can swim anywhere so long as you're not trespassing on someone's land. I don't know. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, Mark. I just don't know. I have never heard of a license for swimming. Right, okay, this is useful. A couple of lakes in Cumbria need permission technically, but no idea about elsewhere. Yeah, so I think some lakes will be on private land, won't there? Oh, quite a few lakes actually are probably on private land. And then, yeah, and I think some landowners are probably more up for people swimming than not. I think there's a map, there's a website called wildswim.com, I think, which shows a map of any places where people enjoy swimming and sort of well-known swimming spots. So that's worth looking at. But I don't know about permissions and licenses. I think I'm a little bit of the way of mind that, you know, we should all be able to access where we want. Maybe lots, I don't know, not what other people think, but I think so long as you're, you know, respectful and you're not leaving rubbish and you're not leaving, you know, evidence that you've been anywhere or making a mess, I sort of tend to just go for it, I think. I think hopefully you all watched my earlier video where I said I'm definitely not an expert, because I definitely am not. Are there any more questions? Or did I miss any? There's lots of good stuff in the chat, I have to say. Better stuff than better information than I've managed to give anyone about where to swim. And does this all, I wonder if the chat sort of stays there afterwards. Hopefully I want to write down that cold water technique. I need to make myself a few notes after this. Oh, Mark, thanks, Mark. Mark thinks that sounds reasonable. That you can, yeah, swim where you want, just don't leave any trace or rubbish or mess. Laura says, it's been really informative, thank you. I must try to be brave and get to Alton Church. Yes. The chat stays there afterwards. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's so lovely, Laura. I mean, you sort of don't, people like different things, don't they? So, you know, you don't want to say to someone, oh, you must go swimming in the Chelmer because it's ever so lovely. And just because I like it, it doesn't mean that everyone will like it. But yeah, it's always worth giving things a go, isn't it? And then you don't have to do it again if you don't like it. But it's ever such a nice river, that one. Really, yeah, really nice. I will definitely organise another swim walk there at some point. Yeah, you're very lucky. Yeah. When lockdown happened, I got so desperate. At some point, I started looking at Rightmove to see, if I could move to, sell my house and move to somewhere closer to a river, which, I might still do one day. It'd be very lovely to live so close to water. Then I might get a bit more acclimatized as well, because at the moment I swim about, I don't know, well, when lockdown isn't happening, or we're not in lockdown, are we? But when we haven't got COVID, I'm normally swimming sort of 3 times a month, I'd say, on average. And yeah, I kind of think if I could do more, I'd be less wimpy about getting in. Are you actually doing, you're still planning to sell your house to move closer to a river, are you actually, Nadia? For swimming. Oh yeah, of course, you do lots of kayaking. Yeah. Suddenly it makes sense, doesn't it? You think, what are the things I really enjoy in life? Why don't I live closer to somewhere where I can do these things? Thanks. You're welcome, Mark. Well, I hope I did give a bit of encouragement. I'm going to get over my cold fear, yes, and get out soon while the weather is still warm. Yes, do it now. But also, it's never too late, and just it's never too cold, really. Just make sure you've got loads of warm clothes to put on afterwards. And I think the thing that always helps me as well, sorry, I'm rambling on now, but I just thought is that because I swim often with this group of people who walk, it really makes a difference, I find, if I do a bit of a walk before I get in the water, so I'm warm before I get in. I don't know that I could just rock up at a river, and then get in cold water. I like to be warmed up first. So that maybe is something you could do. Look at you. Oh, yeah, well, I'm working from home at the moment, but I don't think that my organisation is seeing it as a long-term thing, but it would be nice. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say that. I think that's really like a basic good thing to do, making yourself warm with a walk. It's so good. If you could, even on a really cool day, if you wear loads of layers, suddenly taking them off and getting in the water is makes it so much easier. Unless you do what I do and then stand there for 10 minutes, faffing about and going, oh, it's cold. And then by that time, it's all that hard work, getting warm has gone to waste, really. It's a bit dozy. But that definitely helps a lot. And then having them all ready to put back on again and a hot drink. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it, is it? Thanks all for joining and listening to my rambling. Thanks, Laura. I'm actually not sure how to sign off. I think I didn't read that far in the instructions. I'm assuming I just press end stream. Oh, thanks, Nadia. All right. Well, I think that's right. Press end stream. I'm going to try that anyway. And lovely to chat to you all. Thanks for all your questions. Remember to subscribe to Adventure Queens, and hope to see you all on a walk soon. All right. Bye.